Sitting here with Tim Taylor, church member. Uh, and I first want to start off by saying congratulations.
Thank you so
I
much.
know I congratulated you before, but I want to formally congratulate you.
Thank you.
So let's jump right into it. Who is Tim Taylor?
I would like to describe myself as a homeboy to some degree, for lack of a better statement, just to make sure that it reaches everybody. Uh, Hardworking individual, despite the things that we go through in life, we still keep pushing, and we still keep dreaming and having the hopes of those whose shoulders we stand on. Um, I'm relentless. I'm a relentless individual. I'm an aggressive individual. Don't let the good looks fool you. I like to say that, but no, I think that pretty much describes me. I'm a caring individual, of course. I have all daughters that I raised, and just doing that. My baby was 6 years old when I got custody of her. She's 34 now, so that tells you the relationship. And I got a 41-year-old, a 39-year-old, and a 36-year-old, along with the 34-year-old. So I think with that particular process, it groomed me for a lot that would be coming ahead. And even with the idea of what I went through when I was 50 years old, and that's the loss of sight to some degree. But yet, still being relentless, still pushing. And as you know, by being church members, we've talked about a lot in the last 7 years as far as politics and history go. So that's what defines me, looking back, but yet still moving ahead.
Okay. So it's only been 100 days since you taken office, and in your own words, what would you say has been your greatest achievement so far?
The ordeal of getting here. It's not easy for me to get here. I went up against some giants to some degree, giants with money. And, here I am fighting a battle that is a replica of David fighting Goliath, a smaller man in stature, finances, and all that. But some people believed in this city going in a different direction, the inclusiveness, pushing for diversity, and the holistic approach of just getting along and moving forward. Look, I tell people all the time, my first day on the job, in the first 30 days, I think I stayed here late every night. And it gave me a chance to get in touch with myself and truly be thankful for where I am. I stand out in the hall, and, if anybody passed by, they think I was talking to myself. But Mr. Johnson, I am so grateful for this opportunity. Thank
So what has been your single biggest obstacle or setback in your first 100 days in office so far?
But realistically, I had no setbacks. Everybody's working along. They're believing in what we're doing, the team building process. Of course, everything you do, attrition will follow. You're going to have to evaluate some things from a financial standpoint, because I am responsible for the fiduciary health of the city. And we look at things. We have to cut things that are not needed. They were painful to some degree, but we got through it. But at this particular point, there have been no setbacks. I know the water crisis in the city of Canton has been a big issue, but let me set the record straight. The city of Canton and City Hall has nothing to do with what's going on over at CMU. Although I empathize with what's going on, I know the rates are high, especially for people who are on fixed income, and that includes our senior citizens. And we're trying to work through a process with them to get things going, get them back on track. But of course, some of my opponents have said that the rates didn't increase until this new mayor got in town. It has nothing to do with me. So as far as the setbacks, there have been none thus far.
I guess I have to ask this, and you kind of touched on it before. So a lot of citizens, from what I hear, they've been alarmed about the skyrocketing water sewage bills in Canton and the CMU service area. What caused these bills to increase, and what can residents do to kind of offset some of these price hikes?
Well, you do know that CMU is an entity within itself, but they don't set rates. Public Service Commission does that. And I think what has happened, they're probably about 10 years behind on this rate increase. So when it finally hit us, they did it all at once. But if you had started 10 years ago, you could have did it with increments. I can remember a meeting in Washington, D.C. with Congressman Thompson. And I was there in a meeting with the general manager from CMU. And he was talking about some of the disparities and creating new water wells so we could get full capacity in water. Because if you don't have water capacity, you're not going to get any new development. You're not going to get housing. You're not going to get businesses because you can't support their water needs. And that water need is both drinking water, and sewage. You know, they drive each other. So I can remember very well what Congressman Thompson's reply was. When was the last time you raised your rates? Okay. So this was a process that was going to come. Now, there are some other variables in this, but they're all litigation matters. And I don't want anybody to see this and they say, well, Tim had a table view of everything. And now so I won't go into the specifics. But I think there's some years behind and not raising the rates to some degree. And look, we live in a world that's very fast and manufacturing and everything else that goes along. And the one thing I will say, it was an undue situation for most of our people on fixed incomes. I understand that. But it started revealing other problems that we have with the infrastructure. A lot of people have water leaks that they didn't know about. Now this is coming to fruition, and hopefully they can get something done. But the best thing about it is CMU is willing to work with those people. They have a payment plan in place that if you need it, they will assist you. And you know, of course, as we go forward, we'll work out the kinks, and we'll have a better handle on what's going forward. So,
looking ahead, what are the top 3 things you hope to accomplish by the end of your first year in office?
oh boy, yeah. By the time we get to July 1st next year, I plan to have the police department fully staffed. That's anywhere from 25 to 30 police officers. This week alone, we just hired 4. So the goal is at least 10 to 15 a year. Number 2, we're going to substantiate our police and fire pay. We're going to get it up to par. My goal is to get them at least $50,000 a year. Now, you know, there are going to be other people that disagree with that. But I do believe you pay for talent, that I do. And beyond the talent, you pay for the protection and service. So with that, every call could be a detrimental call to our police officers, even the fire department. And we have to look at that and put these types of things and make them a priority as to what we're trying to do. For so long, we've looked over 2 components in our growing infrastructure throughout the United States. And that's been police officers and school teachers. Now the school teachers are getting up to par. So should we. If we say we're going to protect and serve, we should do the same thing with the people who are employed by us. Protect them and serve them with a quality employment and pay raise. And that's the one thing that I'm going after. So.
Okay, yeah. So are there any issues that you wish you had more runway to tackle?
I wish I was more aware and educated on the tax base. But every day I get to come here, it's a new opportunity to wrap my mind around it. And I think to some degree I'm there at it. You know, I've never dealt with anything over $1 million. So when you're talking about $18 million, you know, the decimals get a little bit different. So, just the tax base, the tax abatements, and some of the old provisions that are out there as to what we can do and what we can't do as a municipality. But just keep in mind I served as an alderman, no doubt, but the mayor is somewhat of a. I got veto power. I do have that. I don't have voting power. So when you look at the three branches of government, you got your judicial, which is our attorney. You got your legislative, which is the board, and then you got the executive, which is me. And we have a strong board, weak mayor. But I like to say this: even though the structure and the organization is set up, strong board, weak mayor, I am not a weak man. I don't mince words. I'm going to go after what I think I need to go after. And if you disagree, let's sit down and talk about it. But I plan on winning this talk about that can turn into an argument or a debate because, our city needs just what other cities need. These are human beings here too. And we're going to push forward very hard in getting the necessary things that we need.
So how do you plan to stay connected with your constituents to receive feedback or maybe even criticism and to ensure transparency and accountability?
Everybody knows that I'm a very visible mayor. I'm at, any given Sunday, I'm at somebody's church. I try to get to my church at least 2 times a month. But, if I'm out, I'm either sick, I'm out of town, visiting those children or grandchildren, or I'm somewhere everywhere. You're gonna see me. I go to Walmart, and this is what's so amazing. I was telling my daughter just a couple of weeks ago, it's hard to go to Walmart now because I can get in there at 11 o'clock. I don't come out at 3 because everybody wants to talk. And, and it makes me feel good because, people can see me coming through the parking lot. Oh, it's the mayor. Can we get a picture with you? It kind of, and I'm like, wow, Denzel Washington, eat your heart out. But it's been, I thought it was going to be overwhelming to some degree because there's so much to do, but I get up here on a Saturday morning and I spend about 3 hours. And some Sundays after church, I come up here, spend about 3 hours. This catches me up with all my reading and the things that I know that are going to go forth in the week. So I know every Monday morning I got a staff development meeting with my directors. So I come in to get prepared. And I'm usually here by 7:15. We don't start at 8 o'clock. But I think preparation is the key to any success. Preparation plus opportunity equals to success. So after this 4 years is up, we'll see just where I fall in that place. Yeah.
All right. So I know we talked a lot about business in the city. So what does Tim Taylor do in his free time?
I read a lot, quite a bit. I'm an avid reader. I get a lot of speaking engagements. So I have to read, especially if it's dealing with a subject matter that I'll be talking about, especially, and most of the times it's dealing with economic development, where we are now and where we plan to be. So study going through a re-education process, even with myself. That's the most beautiful thing about life. Every day you live or you get to live, you get to learn. And I try not to let it be an exception. Just go forward in every aspect. Just this morning in my meeting, I was talking about the first 100 days and my appreciation to all of my directors. But at the same time, I made a comparison between a story in the book of Exodus where Moses was fighting the Amalekites. And as long as his arms went down, he was losing the fight. When he was raising his arms, he was getting weary. So therefore, he had 2 people to come help him. And they helped him stay propped up. And this is what I'm saying to the directors. I am nothing without you. So don't put yourself in the bottom of any situation, because as we go along in life, we realize we all need help and assistance. And for those who may feel like they're on the bottom and not recognize, it takes the bottom to hold up the top. I'm a profound believer of that. I'm nothing without them. Yes, I'm the face. Yes, I'll get the credit, but I know how to come back and give credit back. And that's what I do. Every Monday morning meeting, I take time out to recognize those who have made it possible. So therefore, lest we forget those who did just that or are doing just that. Because when it all settles down, Tim Taylor will never have gone out and fixed what was broken. I'm just facilitating it. So therefore, I have great appreciation for those men and women who are working in the city of Canton. And I don't let a week go by without thanking them. Yes.
Are there any lasting or last remarks you want to give to the citizens of Canton?
Yeah, and I like to say this. My first 100 days, they're almost up, and it's been a wonderful journey. I'm quoting Maya Angelou now. I wouldn't give nothing for my journey thus far. I get a little sentimental because I miss one person. 30 years ago, there was a guy running for office. His name was S.K. Decide. And he was in the neighborhood. He stopped by. He was talking to my mama. And he invited her to his town hall meeting. It was at the community center. And my mama asked me to go with her. And I'm a talker. You know me, I talk. And mama said to the lady sitting at the table, "No, he's going to do something in politics in the city." That was 30 years ago. And I still think about it. And I tell anybody, that was a big difference in my life. And it started coming back to me. I'll never forget the dress she had, a blue and white dress. And she said that I would do something in the city. And I'm doing. And that's why I'm going to walk the straight road. Because I know there's so many people who push for me. And I stand on great shoulders to get it done. And I think about that. And I'll tell anybody, if you got a mother living, there's nothing greater than it. And when you lose them, you remember everything. And like you, I'm the oldest in my family. And I think about it every day. And I get here, and it's probably shouldn't have happened at 50 years old. I lost my sight. And for 4 months, and then I got it back. But it's still blurred. But my sight has nothing to do with my vision for the city. That's what I'm pushing on. And I'm pushing on that woman, my mother, who spoke it into existence. And I'm still living out the hope of what she thought 30 years ago. And she's been gone, it's about 32 years now. And it's just amazing how some things just come back and resurrect themselves. And there were a lot of people on their knees and a lot of people praying. And I know she was one. So with that, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like I told you, a lot of nights I leave here and I just go stand out there in the atrium and I just thank God, because this was not supposed to happen to a wretch like me. And I can sing Amazing Grace, and that one stanza that says, "Once was blind, but now I see." Yeah, I see. And I'm working, and I'm thanking God every day for this particular opportunity. And we're going to see what the end will bring. And I hope it's a wonderful ending. Yes.
Well, Mayor Tim Taylor, again, congratulations.
Okay.
Brother Tim, we were able to sit down and have this talk. I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. And please let the listeners know that even though I tear up, I'm not a weak man now. I'm not weak at all. But, when you think about those people you love who are not here to witness what you're going through. And but my daughters are, and they're the spitting image of my mother. And I just appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's why I work the way I work. Yeah, I'm going to be the first here. I'm going to be the last to leave. And because I'm loving what I do and I'm learning. And it's not boring work. I come in contact with quite a few constituents, and everybody has something different going on. And I have to sit there and receive it all. And it's truly been a learning experience and a growth pattern for me. And I think as I go on in life and get older, it's definitely going to make me a better man. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you all did this at Canton, but we had memory books that once you graduated, you wrote your plans in your book. And in 1981, I said that I wanted to have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. Got 4 girls. And on down in that segment, I said that by the age of 32, I wanted to be a lawyer. I didn't get that because some unforeseen things came up. But then, you know, I said by 40, I want to be mayor of the city of Canton. I'm 22 years late, but I got it. So, yeah, it's just amazing to go back and look at that stuff. And my daughters don't look at the fact me becoming mayor 22 years later. It's, oh, Daddy, you didn't want us or something? That's not the case at all. But, you know, I got the 4 little girl, Daddy's little girls is what I look at it as. And I always say, and when they get ready to see this, you know, I am profound in making a statement, no matter where they go and no matter what they do and no matter who they fall in love with. I want them to remember always that I was the first man to ever fall in love with you. I think that's what keeps me going, you know, to hear that phone call every day, Daddy, which I think is one of the greatest things in the world. I say that now, but I got 3 grandchildren. They call me granddad. And, yeah, it's just amazing. So, and I'm just so appreciative. I am thoroughly appreciative of where I am. Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully
man.
we can sit down again the next 100